Rachel Maddow's ratings are at a year low, and following the Pete Buttigieg town hall, Fox News' ratings are up 22% over last year. CNN's ratings are also fairly bad. Now, I'm not doing this video to rag on Rachel Maddow specifically. I actually want to make a point about right-wing populism and conservatism because for many of you who haven't been following, there was apparently a big upset in Australia where the right-wing party was supposed to lose but ended up winning. And so what I want to do is I want to look at the ratings of Rachel Maddow and talk about why her ratings were good in the first place, why they're going down, and why I think Fox News is going up. We have here from TV Newser, this is Adweek's Basic Cable Rankings, week of May 13th. We can see that Fox News finished the week of May 13th as the most watched basic cable network in total day, 6 a.m. to 6 a.m., marking 19 consecutive weeks at the top of the heap in that day part. However, Fox News finished number 2 in primetime behind ESPN. Now, there's another a big thing that I want to point out, and there's a reason I'm reading this. ESPN has just announced they're going to stop politics, which means, a lot of people believe the ratings for ESPN are going to go up. This has another really big thing about the culture war. For one, Rachel Maddow's ratings are going down, Fox is going up, and ESPN has realized politics are poisonous. People want to watch football. They don't want to hear about Donald Trump and weird, fringe politics. Now, before we go into the numbers, go to timcast.com/donate if you'd like to support my work. There is a monthly donation option. There is a cryptocurrency, several crypto addresses, a physical address, but of course you can just share this video, click the like button and comment. At the very least, like and comment because that tells YouTube the video is engaging and worth, or don't, again, do whatever you want to do. I'm just, if you like what I do. So they say the worldwide leader in sports attracted huge audiences for its NBA Western Conference's finals broadcasts. So that makes sense. Fox News typically is number one, but there's a big event. ESPN is going to beat them out. But I do have the news, and we'll go over this about ESPN getting away from politics. Adweek says, throughout the week, presentations of Hannity, Tucker Carlson Tonight, The Ingram Angle, and The Five claimed 11 of the top 30 cable telecasts overall in total viewers. Additionally, Fox News Channel's town hall with Mayor Pete Buttigieg averaged 1.1 million viewers and 172,000 in the 25 to 54 demo. That's a key demographic. More than CNN and MSNBC, and up 22% in both viewers and the demo versus Fox News' year-to-date average for the Sunday 7 p.m. time slot, where Fox News Sunday rerun is regularly aired. So first, important to point out, Fox regularly airs reruns. Their ratings are up over last year because they've been doing more, they're not doing reruns. Reruns aren't going to do so well. But here's where it gets interesting. CNN and MSNBC, on the other hand, slumped. CNN experienced its lowest rated week since November 2015 in the 25 to 54 demo. Additionally, MSNBC marked its lowest rated primetime week of the year in the demo. Rachel Maddow delivered her lowest rated week of the year in both total viewers and the 25 to 54 demo. One of the things you will hear from people on the left, they love ragging on Fox News for having an average audience member of, 70 years old. It's actually not true. It is high. Cable TV in general. I mean, look, you guys, I'd be willing to bet you're a 25 to 54-year-old male because that's the bulk of my viewership, or at least 18 to 54, which is the key demo, right? So you guys who are watching this, and yes, there are some women, but admittedly, it's my audience is 90% dudes, which, whatever, I don't know. You guys are the key demo, okay? You are the people that advertisers are trying to reach. Well, the cable networks aren't able to do it. Well, Fox News is. I can't speak for CNN. CNN, woo, they're in the gutter. And MSNBC is going down, down, down. So they go on to say, the point I was going to make is Fox News does better in the key demo than I do, right? So that's not indicative of anything because Steven Crowder probably does better in the key demo than Fox News does. And that's indicative of something. Crowder is a conservative personality. He does comedy and talk, and he gets amazing viewership per episode. So he's probably absolutely trouncing Fox News as well. You'd think he'd be making a ton more money, but the shift will come, right? So digital ads are displacing analog this year. Analog probably doesn't make sense, but on demand or linear. So there will be more ad buying on YouTube and Facebook and Google, etc., than there will be on TV for the first time this year, which is big news because it means the big companies are going to start looking to people like me, people like, Crowder, even, more liberal types, David Pakman, Kyle Kalinske. Good things. Let's get rid of the old guard. We'll bring in the new guard. And I mean that no disrespect to those on cable TV, but interestingly, Fox News, they're still going down in viewers, but MSNBC and CNN are going way, way down, and I think it's political. So they say Fox News continued to dominate its competition, but it didn't exactly have a spectacular week either. The network was down in the key measurements during primetime and total day versus the comparable week in 2018. Fox is -3 in total primetime viewers. MSNBC was -13. CNN was -26 in the day part. Holy, that is ridiculously bad. Fox was -10, MSNBC -13, CNN -34, and I believe that's in total day viewers. So, in the key demo, the losses were even more extreme. Fox News is down 22%, MSNBC 42. Holy crap, CNN 43. Yikes. Ratings down across the board. And I'm gonna say this, there's been a lot of conservatives who are upset with Fox News because Fox is bringing on more moderate centrist and, entertaining the Democratic primary. I think it's a good thing. I think Fox is proving they are doing legit journalism, and MSNBC has gone off the rails and they're crashing and burning. They did say that CNN still managed to score a top 10 ranking in total day viewers, while MSNBC remained a top 4 basic cable network in total viewers, behind Fox in the NBA playoffs. So here's what I want to show you over at the next bit. Here's the important thing. Let's go to. I'm just gonna pull up primetime from Monday. Maddow's ratings are down, but she's still getting 2.7 million viewers on her show. I mean, that's big, right? That's big. That's way bigger than I'm getting in total viewership. Here's the important part. Only 394,000 are in the key demo. This is what's important. The people who are watching Rachel Maddow are older than 54. The same is true for the most part for all of cable TV. But here's the thing. We can see that Carlson won in the key demo with 469,000 viewers. Hannity beats Maddow with 454,000 in the key demo. Admittedly, my hour of content combined gets more unique key demographic viewers than cable television. This is a good thing. It shows that the times they are a-changing. But the reason I want to point this out, because I don't want to make it seem like Maddow's not getting viewership. Oh, she absolutely is. But it's also important to point out the aging demographic of all of them. First of all, they all dropped in the key demo. Well, because we're on YouTube. Okay, we don't watch Fox News for the most part. I don't. I mean, I don't watch any of these networks. But it's the older crowd that's watching cable television. So they're going to age out. They will. You can absolutely point out that most of the viewers of all cable are old. And it's really, really sad how CNN's just trailing. So here's what I want to do. First, as an aside, I just want to show, not so much as an aside, but I want to show that cable networks are realizing politics are bad. We have this story from ESPN, Daily Caller, saying ESPN President Jimmy Pitaro says fans do not want us to cover politics. He says, without question, our data tells us our fans do not want us to cover politics. My job is to provide clarity. I really believe that some of our talent was confused on what was expected of them. If you fast forward to today, I don't believe they are confused. Everybody was being told, okay, I work for these companies, they're told, do politics, be an activist, etc. No, people don't like that, okay? People turn on ESPN because they want to watch basketball, they want to watch football, they want to watch baseball, etc. Sometimes ESPN runs skateboarding too. And there was a point at which, this is hilarious, ESPN actually had Magic the Gathering. I think it might have been like ESPN2, but that was fun to watch. They realized it's about games, sports. It's about getting away. It's about passion and not politics. So good on them. But the last thing I want to do is, while we can acknowledge that Fox News is doing well with these town halls, MSNBC is seeing its lowest rating this week. Fox News, my understanding, they're actually up a little bit, but down overall. Like everybody's down, of course. Here's the thing, and I'm only going to touch on this lightly. This is from Bloomberg Opinion. The right-wing populist playbook keeps winning. Australia's shock election result is one more sign that 2016 was no fluke. Rachel Maddow's ratings were built upon Russiagate, a nonsense conspiracy theory that turns out to be a nothing burger. And it's funny because we've even heard Van Jones called the Russia thing a nothing burger and then try and walk it back, claiming it's out of context. It's like, I think we know what you were doing, CNN. So here's the thing. Look at ESPN. They're like, wow, politics, that was a mistake. Somehow this narrative emerges that people got to get woke or you will go broke, when in reality, the opposite was true. If you get woke, you go broke. Apparently, there's another story about Dunkin' Donuts saying we're not getting politics. We're not going to get into politics. It's a bad idea. I think it has to do with the Facebook algorithm. All these media companies were seeing tremendous growth around wokeness. And so the marketing companies started telling everybody to do this. And it was a bad idea. What we're seeing here with this story, I'm not going to read into the story. I just want to make a point. The right-wing populist playbook keeps winning because the left has gotten woke and is going broke. You know, look, excuse me. Kirsten Gillibrand apparently announced today something about the other day, the Family Bill of Rights. Not entirely a bad idea, but she frames it as this intersectional push to guarantee that regardless of race, gender, etc., you will have an equal, footing. And that comes off very much like social justice, intersectionality, etc. You're going to get a lot of people going like, you leave me out of that stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. It's actually not a bad idea, right? What she's actually proposing, giving subsidies and tax credits to families. I actually don't see a problem with that. We definitely, families are good. I don't want to get into family science, but yeah, having two parents, the kids are less likely to get in trouble, do drugs, etc. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. But more to the point, why is it 2016, Donald Trump, Brexit, and now Australia? Why does this keep happening? Well, I think it's because the average person doesn't care to go woke. They don't like these things. They don't care for these things. ESPN just realized it and they said, we better stop. Our ratings are plummeting. People were canceling ESPN. And look, cord cutters, right? I have cable, mostly because it came with my internet and it would be more expensive if I didn't get it. But I don't watch those networks. So what ends up happening is you have these channels that are desperate for viewers. So they resort to going to the fringe. Rachel Maddow for 2.5 years, Russiagate, Russia. Is Russia going to turn off the electricity in the winter? Like, she actually ran a segment about Russia shutting off the power in Fargo. It's like, dude, what is this? Am I watching Alex Jones? So what do you think's going to happen when it turns out it's fake? Her ratings are going to tank. People don't want this nonsense. And of course, she's found her, hippie, liberal, weirdo conspiracy base. Alex Jones had a hippie, conservative, libertarian base. It doesn't mean I'm going to give any of them, I'm personally going to watch them for news. I know a lot of people like to. I'm just waiting for the left to be like, you can't compare Alex Jones to Rachel Maddow, and they're going to take a supercut or something and be like, Tim Pool thinks Rachel Maddow or Alex Jones is better than Rachel Maddow. No, I'll put them on the same footing. You can't wave your arms in the air for years about the Russians coming to get you, and then it turns out to be nonsense and think you're going to walk away from this unscathed. No, Rachel, you are a conspiracy loon. But you know what? I'll take that back. I don't think Rachel's a conspiracy loon. I think she's a narcissistic sociopath who was doing it for ratings. Yeah. Anyway, the reason I bring up the Bloomberg story about populism is that it's not a fluke. The polls are wrong. The marketing companies are wrong. Get woke, go broke isn't a universal truth. Jordan Peele certainly isn't going broke. He's doing very, very well. There's a lot of successes in wokeness, but it's not a universal constant. So these big companies that thought they could profit off it are wrong. The average person is not interested. And this is fracturing the left around the world in Commonwealth and in the Commonwealth countries and the US. Australia wasn't supposed to win. Their polls looked very much like Trump's favorability. Brexit was not supposed to win. Trump was not supposed to win. His average was like a 3% chance of victory on the day of his election. And I remember watching it flip. It's because the media is out of touch. They've wound themselves up into this tiny bubble where they have no idea what's going on and they're losing it. So why am I not surprised to see CNN, MSNBC tanking? Because they're out of touch. And then when you see the populists win in the right wing in Australia, I'm like, right. The media couldn't predict it. They have no idea what they're talking about. I blame the media for almost all of this. Almost all of it. They have lost sight of what is actually happening. And you know what? Actually, it comes down to, I think, social media. Facebook, the algorithm, etc. It's a complicated problem. Suffice it to say, right wing is going to keep winning. The left is fractured by this insanity that is this extreme wokeness. Okay? You look at someone like me, who is my moral foundations, and I love bringing this up. Okay? According to Jonathan Haidt's research, and I've referenced it several times, it's very important, care and fairness are the two principal moral foundations of liberals. Conservatives operate among all moral foundations, so purity, authority, and loyalty are very important. And you can clearly see I'm not saying this is the best test in the world, but I took a test, and I very much fell into care, fairness, but also liberty. Someone like me who believes mostly in care and fairness and less in authority and especially not purity, I am someone who typically would vote for a Democrat. Well, they've lost me for the most part. Now, don't get me wrong, like, if Yang or Tulsi gets the nomination, like, I'm gonna vote for those individuals because Tulsi has done a lot of really great things. She's not perfect, and Yang is a smart dude. But ultimately, the point is, you can look at my left liberal moral foundations and then ask yourself why I do not like these people. They've lost the plot. You've got these people in media like Rachel Maddow, who spin everyone up into a frenzy and a fervor of conspiracy nonsense for money and ratings. She chased the money and she chased the ratings, and she betrayed her audience into believing complete nonsense. Complete nonsense. In fact, Tucker Carlson routinely has like Antifa and lefties on his show. Granted, it's always him, pushing back, but that's more than I can say for MSNBC or CNN. CNN talks about this stuff all day and night, but they insulate themselves. Why won't they have on Glenn Greenwald? And Glenn Greenwald has brought this up. Glenn Greenwald has been pushing back on the Russia conspiracy nonsense this whole time, and he is a progressive lefty. Why won't they have him on? Because they're insulating their viewers because they want to make money. But sure enough, Fox News will have on pro and anti-Russia people. Why? What's this? We're living in a crazy world. I'll tell you what. Long story short, let me wrap this up. I love bringing up my moral foundations because it explains my politics perfectly. Care, fairness, and loyalty are my principal, moral foundations. Liberty, the most important thing. I truly believe in freedom and fairness, which means if we're going to have a media that's going to talk about what's happening, you've got to give space to as many people as you can of different perspectives. But what happens when social media starts banning only one side? Well, that's not fair, and it's also a violation of liberty. These are things I really, really care about. You'll notice purity is very low, and it's I don't know if this is like a negative hit towards me, but it's probably why I'm pro-choice. Purity is very important to conservatives, so purity, or it's also called sanctity. So there's a lot of value placed in the moral community that doesn't exist so much for liberals, and that's probably why my politics fall where they are, where they do. But liberty is also a really big reason. As for my pro-choice position, less government involvement, complicated ethics. I will admit that. Long story short, let's wrap this up. Right-wing populists are going to keep winning so long as the media has no idea what's going on. But ESPN backing away from politics is a really good example of what's really happening in our countries in this world. Politics is bad. People do not want wokeness. They just want their communities and cultures. They want to do their thing. And the media is out of touch, completely out of touch. Finally, people are starting to wake up. Dunkin' Donuts saying, nah, we're not doing none of that. ESPN saying that was a mistake. And Rachel Maddow, admittedly, all cable ratings are down. But yes, CNN and Maddow are down substantially more than Fox News is are as of date. So I'll leave it there. Thanks for hanging out for this segment again. You can donate at timcast.com/donate if you want to support my work. If you're listening to the podcast, leave a good review. It really helps. More segments to come, so stick around, and I will see you soon.